세러데이 쇼다운 T1 대 KT 로스터.
On his Sivir, as that's a Nidalee.
Do they just Nidalee Renekton it?
I mean, Nidalee Renekton would be the only way that I think I'd be all right with the Nidalee, and even then I wouldn't be all right with the Nidalee, you know? I'm pretty sure that's how it is.
Quota.
I think it's like is contractually allowed to play a few of them. We have seen this from him many, many times. We know that he loves to play the pick. Haven't necessarily seen all of the success, though, as that is an Azir. Doesn't exactly spark all of the joy for me, personally. And the Skarner's getting the zoom in, because that has been pretty powerful in the past. Fun drafts on both sides. Jump into the rift for game number 1. By activating a plant in the wrong spot and stuff like that, it can really wreck your clear. So hopefully Sponge is clean with it. Faker making sure that Yahoo is just not allowed up to the wave. And he's going to have to start drinking his potion pretty early on here. Very far, you know, maybe it's like 2.5 games or something like that. But still, been doing a fair bit of winning on the champion. As Carrier taking a lot here, as Sponge making his way down. Dredgeline gets Carrier out of there. As Teddy with a 60% win rate on this Ezreal, as Yahoo is taking so much damage. We're kind of used to this, as you were talking about. Thankfully, we were set up for just how brutal this lane can be. Getting back to about 300 health. Sponge here to try and defend. Will be walking in. Faker has already rocket jumped. And now Sponge going to try and find some damage here. Not even going to get the Comet, because of course that plant doesn't slow.
See on the other side, you know, Teddy's very confident.
Empress Divide going to be thrown down. Faker rocket jumping, trying to get away. As Sponge is moving in. Oh, this is so dangerous. The flash has to be employed. And Ona not able to get too much, but does manage to nail that minion.
Yeah, really nice play from Yahoo there on the Azir, doing well in this matchup. And you know, Faker makes the correct decision. He rocket jumps towards the top side, away from DRX. And Ona?
Yeah, still just fighting Sponge here, but doesn't have a mid laner to support. And Ona just trying to get aggressive. He does have a Mega Gnar making his way down. Still takes a fair bit of damage there. It's enough with the threat of the prehistoric Yordle to get DRX out of here.
But I think
DRX down some shellfish.
They should have confidence here. Faker's still low. The Mega Gnar is now gone. Pletter is here. And you can see Sponge is challenging. We do see the Scuttle Crab going over to Ona, but not willing to let the grubs go.
Yeah, level 6 has been hit here by Ona, though, as there's the Zenith Blade. Pletter actually going in, grasping roots. Comes down as Ona is the focus, but Faker's already dived in. That's the first blood, and it goes to Tristana. Gets the reset there as well, as Frog's rotated down. It is a disaster for DRX, although they only lose one. They should also lose the grubs off the back end. Usually gets enough stacks for them to be this brick wall that DRX will not be able to get through.
You can see Ona looking at challenge on the Raptors there. He's really starting to take over in this matchup and pull a bit of a lead now.
Oh yeah, this is really dangerous. Grasping Root's going to get double value, but I don't know whether it even matters. Stranglethorns comes in, the knockup comes down. Dawning Shadow and Faker gets in there. Now Yahoo just trying to get himself out. The Emperor's Divide did absolutely nothing. Pletter trying to take matters into his own hands, but T1 just going to grab another one for their mid laner.
Yep, such a big threat. It definitely feels like DRX. There's a significant goal lead built up now. It's 12 minutes, 2,500, but now they're looking for Carrier to answer back.
Yeah, potential dive here, as there is the flash attempt onto Sponge, but they haven't picked up the turret aggro just yet, and he's used everything. Frog able to avoid, as now Carrier should be going down here. Mystic shots, it's going to be able to be Teddy picking up the kill. And Frog seems to be okay for the moment, although he's not out of the woods just yet. Oh god, this must be so scary for the little Skarner, or the lawnmower, or the terrifying large Skarner. Whatever it is, he is in a whole host of trouble. Gumayusi does not want to be tanking this one, as the Impale goes wide, and that means they can pounce on in and grab the kill. Ona very close to going down there, but the juggling is pretty good.
The turret. So really smart from Sponge to bait that out. They're now in trouble.
And after flashes, yeah, walls don't really mean too much here for Frog, and finally the Stranglethorns get some value. DRX on the board. So incredibly scary. Carrier, he's the one now with that spare time. Gumayusi going to turn up alongside him, and that should be the outer turret in mid lane just going down. Not a whole lot that DRX could do about it.
And you know, I'm going to be honest, if they'd stayed there to try and defend it, it would have just weakened their side lanes, you know? Like,
yeah, I would never do that.
Hey, we're casters, that's what we're supposed to do.
Unless it's lore, in which case that can't be. As good buffer there from Faker, but he can't buffer the next one. There's the Flash Emperor's Divide. That's the kitchen sink, ladies and gentlemen, being used to take down the GOAT. And T1 should be able to use this to grab a little bit of extra control in mid lane. Yeah, this is not going to last very long. Teleport is going to be used here. That's going to bring Yahoo over, unless it was just interrupted by Carrier, in which case he's not going to be there to join. Frog does find himself the Impale, as Dawning Shadow is going to be what locks down the kill onto the Skarner in the end. Teddy trying to get some autos down as, my goodness, Sponge, he's not even able to take the Dragon without costing it him his life. As now, yeah, he will go down. Faker takes a lot of damage though, and those plants need to be respected. Carrier now doesn't have a lot of damage, and so Yahoo, they're just fighting over the honey fruit. Oh, this is a battle for the ages. Carrier, I think he's going to win. I think he's going to win. The Nautilus is just too strong as he takes down the Pigeon, and look at that guy. Just saunters his way back to the bottom lane.
Quiet
once again.
And now Carrier's just proxy farming the wave behind the Azir tower.
Yep, trying to bait him into maybe getting him to leave so that then Zeus can come up and kill him as Dawning Shadow will interrupt the back.
What'd you do?
Oh, no. Well, you get a teleport from your Skarner.
I love how they're defending this tower so heavily when it's an Azir tower.
Wait, who's defending who? Like, Solar Flare going to connect here onto Carriers. Over the wall goes Frog, finds the Ram. There is the Impale, and they take down the Nautilus. They need a lot to do it. That still could get them some respite, and the Baron has just spawned. His center is undeniably pretty fantastic, though. Hasn't lost that many games. Now, like you say, T1 are going to do that T1 thing where they start Baron. Ward goes over, DRX with full information as to what's going on here. And Frog, he can get into that pit very comfortably. Sponge, a lot of range available as well. And harassment in a tight space is something that Zyra is very good at. So I don't think T1 will be able to take this one if DRX knows what's going on. Tristana things once again.
Oh, they've kind of forced DRX out towards the top side though, so now Teddy's left alone to defend the tower. It's going to go so fast.
Yeah, he does have a True Shot Barrage, but it's not going to be able to save this turret, and that is just going to explode. Teddy able to Arcane Shift backwards. Now the rest of DRX trying to make their way over. This is a deep flank from Frog, who's trying to get in there. He's invested his teleport for it as well. If they get nothing for this, it could be an absolute catastrophe. Faker gets rammed into the wall, but it doesn't really seem to matter because the Impale doesn't land. There's the ulti onto Pleta, though. He goes in. DRX now have rebuilt the Phalanx as the spear is going to miss. The T1 have just said, we'll just keep you at arm's length. We'll just throw out what we can find without hard committing. Is never mind. Gumayusi has to cleanse, and there's Teddy. Grabs the Trinity Force proc and takes down the center. Faker now has to get out of there, and DRX, they now have a slight man advantage, but not really a lot to turn it into if they want to be able to get this Baron as, yeah, Carrier booking it into the pit. Yeah, Ona's going to take a while to get over here. I think this Baron is going to go over to DRX. But what is going to happen elsewhere on the map? Faker actually deciding to teleport back in, and then Zeus teleports to the bottom lane. Well, let's see what they can get from it. See whether it does work out here. As Plants coming on out, trying to be frustrating. Pleta goes in, gets the rocket jump out of Faker. Should give Teddy some free time with this outer turret, and they will be able to at least take that. So, I told a lie. It was 7 turrets to 2 before, now it's 7 turrets to 3. Getting our way back into this one. And it's not about the ones that miss, it's about that one that hits. Can really skew a fight in your favor. Teleport having to be invested off the back of a spear landing.
Oh, and now Dragon being started by Zeus. He can solo this. DRX sensed this. You know, they saw him take the blast cone. They're moving more aggressively now.
Yeah, Teddy once again taking a lot of damage as Faker down to 50%. Same can be said for Teddy though. Really has to stand in this backline. There is the Drake secured by the Gnar, and Yahoo moving towards that top side because this inhibitor is still not back up yet. And Pleta taking a lot of poke damage if he decides that he wants to come on over here. Teddy over the wall. They maybe think, oh, there he is, he goes in. Gumayusi has to flash. And Sponge still here threatening. Depth charge going to be used on the Zyra, and they just burst down the Baron. Zeus is also just kind of winning the game casually by himself here as well. And DRX, I think they were stuck between a whole lot of different, very difficult decisions, and Spear is going to connect. Pleta is executed. Sponge, he throws down the Stranglethorns, but then he has to flash out of there. And I think this is the beginning of the end for DRX. Yahoo, there are a lot of plates spinning right now, but there's also a lot that are just lying strewn on the ground. They weren't able to keep up with all of them as T1 were just throwing too many decisions their way. Zeus, I don't know what that one was about, but he's got a GA, so he may as well dive underneath Nexus turrets, and he almost takes them all out as he does so. Onto the fountain goes Sponge, and he'll just have to watch as T1 finishes off the Nexus. They drop the ball in any one of these moments and T1 will capitalize. They absolutely did. Shoutouts to Teddy though, did a lot of damage on his Ezreal. It just didn't really work out. I feel like the carry potential of the Jinx is a little bit higher, and he is going to lock that one in.
Yep.
Bit of a gambit here, but if they can start to get some of these resets, could be very dangerous, and they're saving Rascal's pick for counter. Diana and Rakan locked in by T1. Okay.
I was about to say Diana Rakan, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, so was I.
We all expected.
I mean, as soon as the Yasuo was locked in, it was a guarantee that we were going to get Diana Rakan, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, sorry. I mean, what? Rock! Rock! It's a rock! It almost feels like Fearless. Yes, I know there's a Zyra in it, but man, let's get amongst it and see what happens in game number 2.
You do like, oh, let's do the Wombo combo comp.
Oh, yeah.
And it'd have, you know, Malphite, Leona.
Moo, Misfortune.
Yeah, they don't quite have that, but they're definitely going for that vibe.
Oh, yeah. It's feeling good. As Owner is now looking to start off the enemy Raptor camp. Zeus is moving in as well, but DRX are just going to push them away. It's a little bit of time bought by the DRX players. So they're not going to be able to hold the leash or anything like that, so still going to take them a little bit of extra time in this jungle, but no harm, no foul. So pretty interesting, as Owner is going to be able to take down his red buff. It's almost been a year since the Diana has been played in the jungle. It was Canyon losing to Umpty in one of the most famous losses of all time. Yeah, and Teddy being down a cannon, also a bit of a hit. As we're checking out the top lane matchup as, yeah, Rascal has to flash. Can we take the stats down now? Because they don't look great. Yeah.
Just show it.
Yeah. Just jinxed by our graphics team.
You got the cannon.
Yeah, Rascal is able to get a cannon, you're exactly right. Wanted to find an angle here, as once again, Sponge just putting plants in the lane. And Owner comes down, does manage to land that Q, but Yahoo coming on over. Level 5 once again, as Owner is going to find the dash on the E. And First Blood, it happens exactly the same way, but this time Yahoo's there to answer. Still, Flash does have to be used here by Yahoo to get him out of the way of Faker, who will get that rapid fire going, trying to lock down the Corki, but unable to actually finish that one off. So control for T1, First Blood for T1. I think he's going to be able to do too much about it here as the red buff going to be taken. Teddy actually cleansing the slow from the extendo beam.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest.
Not sure how worth that was.
Not sure you really needed to do that.
No.
You may have saved yourself from like half a Zeri Q, perhaps, if that.
Well, DRX about to get infinitely more grubs than they got in game 1. Teddy couldn't cleanse that one, sadly.
Built a bit like The Rock, though.
Yeah, I would say so as well. It's okay. Teddy's dead. The cleanse wouldn't have been that useful, to be fair.
You know, maybe could it cleanse flash the carrier engage? Maybe. That's kind of the purpose you're taking cleanse in a situation to the Rakan. You can cleanse flash when he ults. Carrier was still so healthy when he left the tower, and they had so much damage. I think he was dead anyway. At least Teddy saved his flash, I think is the takeaway.
Whoa, that's an ulti, as All Out is going to be used here. Zeus takes 2 turret shots in the end. But yeah, he is an unstoppable force. Is this Rock? And Rascal, if we have a look, you know, doing fine when it comes to... Super Mega Death Rocket is spotted by absolutely everyone before it is avoided by Zeus. And some plants coming up here. Some teleports getting unleashed in the middle of a bit of a face-off, but... Yeah,
and you know, they look like they could potentially challenge Owner there, but Rascal doesn't have ult, so I think the safe call is to back away.
Yep. As Carrier looking a little bit silly there as Faker getting taken down to 30 still. There's the Solar Flare. It does connect very nicely. Great layering of CC here as Yahoo just really wanting to get the damage down onto Owner. Bit of Q value, but the health bars are so low on T1's side. Some free time with the turret should ensue from this one, and DRX, it feels like a step up here in game number 2. That's what I'm feeling right now, as Sponge can smell blood in the water. Gets the plant over. Grasping Roots come down. And there is Zeus on that flank angle. He is at full health, just wanting to find someone to hit with his abilities, but it's Yahoo. Oh dear, bit of Owen Wilson as he gets a control ward down. Gumayusi doesn't find the extendo beam. He gets over the wall. Carrier not able to lock him up just yet. There's a blast cone there. Valdez, there's a blast cone there, and it is going to be denied. Beautifully done, T1. Lock down the kill onto the enemy mid laner.
That one was for Brendan Valdez.
That was.
Save it.
As Carrier just barely sidestepping that one. That was pretty cute as Faker has just pushed Teddy around and slams him into the wall. Seeing right now. As, all right, there's the engage from Pleta, finds another Solar Flare, and the layering of CC is gorgeous. Faker just couldn't do anything the whole time. And now Rascal's a rock. He's flashing, he's dashing, he's getting out of there. He must have altered in to try and deny something, wasn't able to get a grub, and is now going home with a lack of cooldowns.
Did he blast cone in or something? Because he ulted out and then flashed, so...
It's kind of the Zeri thing. Is Faker going to rocket jump? Fletter looking to come on in here now that that one is on cooldown. Solar Flare avoided completely, and I don't think that was ever going to hit. You know, Pletter's had some good play so far this series, so we'll give him a pass on that one, as it's now Sponge's turn. Flashes, misses, can't really miss that one, but Faker's just going to press W and say, all right.
And now, Yahoo.
The revenge of Faker is coming in here, as now Carrier finds the quickness onto multiple members. It's a great Valkyrie, but I don't know whether, even with the flash, that's going to get Yahoo out of here, as cut down where he stands. Zeus will take a bit of damage back in the interim, but oh dear. DRX, not really going to get too much out of it. Back to come through, as now Faker, I mean, if at first you don't succeed, try to kill Faker again, I think is how it goes. As Teddy's moving on down towards Sponge. Fletter coming on in once again. All right, just wants to walk up to Faker. Does get Buster shotted, and that was beautifully played.
That was so close, so the Zenith Blade nearly connected, and if it did,
he just follows him the whole way.
Yeah.
But T1 are now just sieging here towards his bottom side. There's the Grand Entrance on top of the rock, who's pretty tanky, but not quite tanky enough. Moonfall coming on in there from Owner. And Rascal, he will be able to soak up all of this damage, but the inhibitor is still going to go down. The job has been done here by T1, and DRX have not been able to answer now. All of Rascal's health is back. He's teleported in, but where's everyone else? What are they going to be able to do? Can they actually hold on to this one is the question. As in goes the Kazate, and it's a double kill for Gumayushi. The Rock has done nothing. He hasn't been able to get in there and affect anything, because T1, they just turn on the squishy members. They take him down. It's a triple for Guma. And maybe the game's just over here.
Yeah, they have a minion wave. Rascal doesn't have ult. He didn't have it when he tried to flank. Yeah. And now Teddy's trying to defend the human Nexus. I'm not sure he can do it.
They might be able to kill the real Nexus, though, even if they can't kill Teddy. And this game was kind of a game until it was just done. Nexus goes down 21 minutes here for T1. 24-07. And so now, oh wait. So now this was the first game of the season.
Oh, by 3 minutes.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POG interview translation, joined by Owner and Carrier on the side of T1. Congratulations! Owner, this is your third consecutive victory, and T1 has moved up to second place. How do you feel? It feels great. It was a clean 2-0 victory, which makes me pretty happy. And Carrier, this will be your first summer POG. How do you feel? It makes me happy that I'm able to receive POG. Owner, we finally got your Nidalee today, and the moment Nidalee was locked, the fans went wild. And many joking about how their bingo card is now complete. So, since you're good at her, why did it take so long to play her? For today, for instance, I feel like we had a really good angle to play her, and it went really well. I got really lucky, and everything went really well. And in the LCK, Nidalee had a pretty low win rate compared to how high her pick rate was. With 5 wins and 8 losses, with a 38.5% win rate. Why do you think her win rate is so low? Maybe because I played her only once. Maybe that's why. And Carrier, in game 1, you solo killed the enemy mid Azir with Nautilus. We have a replay ready right here. You were taking up some honey fruits and fighting until the very end. Did you think that you would win here? Yeah, so Faker actually marinated him so well before dying off. And I decided, I already knew that I would be able to win here, so it wasn't that hard. How did it make you feel when you killed him? Oh, so I actually knew that Azir didn't have his E, and I was pretty certain that I would kill him. And everyone else was saying that he still had E, which made me a little nervous, but I was able to win, so I'm glad. So who told you that he still had E? I think it was Faker. And Owner, you played Diana in game 2. How did you come up with this pick? Just looking at the enemy comp, I just thought that Diana would work really well against their comp, and it was also a choice based on how we had Rakan as our support pick. And in game 2, Keria, what an amazing gameplay with Rakan. And you guys had such early control, and you roamed mid, then right back bot into the tower dive. So walk us through your decision making. So being able to roam well really depends on how well your solo laners are playing. So given that all three top, mid, bottom solo laners are doing really well and just setting everything up, that's why I was able to pull this off. And in game 2, you guys set the new fastest game record at 21 minutes and 8 seconds. So how did you guys end the game so quickly? I think our damage dealers were able to poke them down really well. And everyone else who is supportive was able to pull off some really good engages. That's probably why. And this Saturday showdown will be a home ground match between T1 and KT at Goyang Sono Arena. What are you looking forward to the most? This is something new that we're trying in the regular season, which is great. And I believe that we will have a really big audience. It'll be a good big match. And so to reach everyone's expectations, I hope that we can prepare well and make sure that we do our best. And Keria, what's your resolution for the home ground match? Being able to get this new experience during the regular season makes me very excited for the upcoming match. And I want to show everything that we got to our fans. Thank you so much. And that's the end of the interview from owner and Keria of T1, and back to the space. Thank you.